Hey Glean, give me a one-line opener for Glean Live.
Welcome to Glean Live, where you'll have a front row seat to enterprise context in action.
Not bad. Hi, I'm Alda Majinsky, and I have the pleasure of leading the people team here at Glean. Welcome to Glean Live. Today, we're rolling out some powerful new updates from real-time voice, slide and code generation, a more personalized, memory-aware assistance, and agent-powered analysis, all built on real company context. But instead of showing you a bunch of slides, I'm going to show you how I actually use Glean. And then we'll walk around and see how other teams at Glean use it too. Come on in. If you're like me, your day starts with a wall of meetings, Slack messages, and scattered notes. At least it used to. Somewhere between my inbox and my third meeting, things would already be off the rails. Let's see what my day looks like now. Every morning, I've got our new Plan My Day agent ready to go. It pulls from my calendar, my one-on-one notes, and action items. It basically does the part of my job that I don't want to do before coffee. Let's take a look. Behind the scenes, Glean uses my personal graph and memory to understand how I actually work, not just what I type into chat. It looks at my activity across Docs, email, Slack, and other apps to understand my projects and priorities. I start the day knowing exactly what to focus on. It even spots open time and recommends a focus block I can book right from Glean, which means fewer surprises and way more focus. All right, let's get into it. We have a lot of people to talk to. Hey Zane, how's it going?
Good, Ala. How are you?
Good. I've been really excited about our assistant updates, particularly slide generation. Slides always take me so long to build between the content, the storyline, the formatting. It's so challenging. I heard you're working on the all hands. How's that going?
I sure am. Even when I have all the info, the hardest part is almost always just getting the storyline right. And our new slide gen capability has been a huge unlock for that.
I'd love to see how it works. Can you show me?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at this. Now I can just tell Assistant, help me generate a slide deck for the company all hands tomorrow, cover adoption metrics on Canvas, and be sure to highlight the weekly and monthly user growth. Emerjan is absolutely going to ask about that. And Assistant pulls in everything I'd normally chase down, the analytics, the Salesforce data, you see some past decks, some internal docs, and it turns it into one coherent story. And look, the slide content is already laid out in the Canvas.
So should I think of each of these sections in Canvas as an individual slide?
Exactly right. From here, I can ask Assistant to add new content, shorten sections, or reorder things, or even take it in a totally different direction and prompt here in the chat. And we can even use Glean's image generation to spin up visuals for the presentation. And that is one of the things that saves me from hunting through stock photos or even creating new things from scratch.
This is great. So what does the final deck look like?
All I have to do is click Create PowerPoint Presentation, and Assistant uses our exact company slide template, not a generic one, not an approximation, and turns it into a PowerPoint that I can download from chat. And instead, if we're using Google Slides, I can generate a version from there too. And you can see here, if I choose Create PDF Presentation, it's actually more of a visually engaging or creative version that uses the same content, but with our image generation capability to create a rich PDF that I can either present or share right away. And if I need to keep collaborating, I just stick with PowerPoint or Google Slides. And since I know Emerjan is going to want these numbers later, I can actually have Glean summarize this deck into a Slack message right here. And Canvas adapts to the Slack layout so I can tweak it and send it directly from Assistant without ever leaving.
So instead of stitching it all together yourself,
Glean does it for me. It pulls from the same dashboards and the docs that I would normally use, but it gets me that 80 to 90% of the way there in just a few seconds, which means less formatting and more time for other things.
This is awesome. Thank you so much for walking me through it, Zane. I'll see you at the all hands.
You got it.
We've seen how product uses Glean. Now let's see what sales is up to. Hey Ben, I've been learning how different teams around the company are using Glean. I know it's quarter end and quarterly business review season is upon us. I'm curious to hear, how is Glean helping you get ready?
It's been indispensable for me. As a manager here of 8 sales reps at Glean, we're getting ready for our QBRs, which means that we're all in-depth analysis into our pipeline. We're reviewing different opportunities, seeing where things stalled out from last quarter, and I'm trying to go through and provide customized coaching for each one of my reps.
That sounds like a lot of number crunching. How did you used to do it before?
Before, it was a lot of manually pulling the information. The challenge really was with Salesforce, it's only the qualitative information that's in there from the rep, and then I get the quantitative view from the Salesforce reports. And now with Glean, we're getting a big update in how I do this. I'm able to analyze thousands of data points from across my reps' calls in Gong, their Salesforce opportunities, messages with their customers in Slack, and even in email. So I get a full comprehensive picture of the qualitative and the quantitative views into their opportunities.
That sounds like a lot of data, no pressure. Can you show me how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. Assistant gives me objective deal updates on what's moving, what's stalled, and where I should be coaching.
It looks like Assistant is processing a lot here. As someone who is not technical, I'm curious, do you know what is actually happening under the hood?
I wonder what David thinks.
Hey, I'm David from the engineering team. Let's quickly explain how the agent sandbox works. When Ben runs a query like this, it needs to look over his entire sales pipeline. That's way more data than you're going to fit in an LLM context window. So Glean spins up what we call an agent sandbox. You can think of it like a short-lived virtual computer running in your private cloud. It has its own file system, command line, code execution, and tool index. Now the agent isn't limited by context window size. It can use the file system as short-term memory and work directly over full Salesforce tables and complete Gong transcripts. No cutting corners. Inside that environment, it joins structured sales data with unstructured conversation data. Then it labels opportunities, looks for patterns, and runs analysis on deal health. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at the results. Back to you guys.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks, David. What I like about this is that Assistant spells out what to focus on at different deal sizes. As an example, I can see that I need to coach my team on their larger ops. We should be engaging our value realization team much earlier, since AI blueprinting and ROI are key for our enterprise deals. These kinds of insights that actually help me get more strategic with my team about our book of business are incredibly helpful and only available in Glean.
This is organized really well, but what if you want to run the same analysis again in the future?
Great reminder. I'll just tell Assistant to remember this format for quarterly pipeline analysis. That way I can get the same style of output every time, regardless of which model I choose.
Thank you so much for showing me, Ben. I'm constantly analyzing recruiting data, so I can't wait to see how I can bring this into my work. We've seen how sales uses Glean to analyze thousands of opportunities against a single query. Now let's see how support keeps everything running. Hey, Kat, how are you?
Hey, great.
You always look like you're putting out 3 fires at once. Any fires today?
Not today, thankfully. We just wrapped up our Gleaniverse office hours with a great group of Glean admins. They come with questions on new features, product ideas, and all the classic, how do I do that in Glean scenarios?
How did it go?
It was great, but honestly, these used to blow up my week. There was a long list of follow-ups, usually around updating our docs.glean.com and the Help Center. Since our docs live in GitHub, writing them meant jumping between GitHub desktop, writing articles in Markdown, going to my browser to make updates and see how it looks, and a lot of waiting. I'd bounce between lots of tools, run things locally, or open a ticket and hope for the best. Now with Glean CodeWriter, I can just ask Glean.
As someone who doesn't live in GitHub, can you show me how it works?
Of course. In office hours, we got a lot of questions about actions in Glean, especially around first-time authentication for Jira and Salesforce. So now I just tell Glean to create a PR for a new Help Center guide on first-time auth. Assistant uses our code search and CodeWriter tools to pull the right repo, draft the doc with the right structure and style, run our usual checks, and opens a draft pull request. All I need to do is decide on a person to assign as the reviewer.
So CodeWriter is creating new docs, not just sentences.
Exactly. Before I was bouncing between Jira, GitHub, and the doc site just to fix one article. Now with a short prompt, it creates the PR, writes the content, and even knows where to add it in the docs.glean.com navigation. I can make a few tweaks, add a reviewer, merge it, and the new help article is live. Look, there it is.
That's fast. I'm guessing you get a lot of questions on how to edit Glean docs.
Exactly, all the time. Actually, let me have Assistant spin up a Confluence page with a how to edit guide in Glean docs.
So CodeWriter isn't just for engineers. Who knew? That's a quick look at how different teams use Glean day to day. Pretty fascinating, right? And what you're seeing inside Glean is happening with our customers too. Now, let's take this conversation around the world. Kunal, over to you in Bangalore.
Thank you, Ala. My name is Kunal from India sales team. We have Sridhar with us. Today we'll be talking about Glean Assistant. So Sriram, thank you for having us in your office, a beautiful office, definitely. As a product person in the central AI team at Swiggy, from your workflow standpoint, so from pre to post stage, what do you think has changed in your daily work life? I mean, not just for you, but across all the departments at Swiggy.
That's a good question. This is something we actually think about a lot. So one of the things is that, how do we create with context, right? That has changed a lot because I think context, like right now people are talking about context drafts, but I think under Project Flash and along with Glean, we have been going in the right direction on context. Like anything we have to create, how do we ground the creation of the content with these LLMs with context? So that is something has changed a lot, especially for folks like me or product managers who have to write a lot of PRDs, a lot of concept notes. How do you ground it to what has already happened in our organization and what does our organization care about? And then, creating content. That has been one of the key steps. And, also reviewing that content, right? You just don't create content, but also review contents, right? Those are the things, just massively changed for us.
What does productivity mean for your organization? Is it speed? Is it accuracies? Is it, all of the above?
Yeah, so in context of Project Flash, right, one of the key things which we wanted to evaluate is that whenever you search for something, are you able to get the right information, right? That's like what you mentioned, accuracy, right? So for that has been quite well, accuracy part. And then, once you have the right content, how well are we able to synthesize that content and surface the insights, right? Those are the key pillars. One is, fetching the right content, like you see in the RAG modules, like, getting the right content, and then is the LLM able to, take the content and summarize it quite well. I think it's working pretty well for us. Essentially, think of like a chat box, right? Like everybody's now familiar with chat box, chat interface, right? But when you go to that and type something, it just gives you generic world knowledge, which is great. But then when you're working in a big organization, you need grounded information of the organization, right? And that's what Glean helps us, Glean Assistants. You can ask anything which is related to your work and otherwise, and then it will actually look at your organization context and answer with relevance to your personality, your role, right? That's how I would like to explain.
How are you looking at making sure that Glean Assistants and Glean as a platform gets adopted at Swiggy? What are your thoughts around it?
Got it. I think it's more of a partnership effort. But if I talk about it, our leadership they promote usage of AI, generative AI across the organization, and then folks like us also do a lot of activities. Let it be sessions, AMAs, let it be hackathons, right? And then we create stuff which actually provides value, right? So people in turn come to these tools and actually use it if you're giving good enough value, right? And also we would be partnering together to do these adoption sessions, right?
Fantastic. No, absolutely. We are, geared to, partner in that. And we are already seeing a lot of word of mouth, a lot of requests to our admins for Glean licenses. So thank you for being an awesome partner with us. Thank you, Sriram, for hosting us in your office and sharing your thoughts all the way back to San Francisco, Ala. Thank you.
Welcome back. What you just saw is the reality for teams around the world. When AI has real context, it doesn't just save time, it changes how work gets done. That's exactly why we built these new assistant updates, to help you move from idea to action with full context every step of the way. From creating content and code to using voice, analyzing data, and staying organized with agents. We can't wait to see what you build with them. Try them out today and join us again on May 12th for the next Glean Live. Thanks for being with us.